Let me introduce ASTI in short and YTC, Young Technopreneurs Challenge, in detail to all listeners and viewers out there, especially high school students. ASTI is an abbreviation for Association of Science, Technology and Innovation. ASTI is an association of educators, scientists, industry representatives and individuals who are committed to advancing the role of scientific community, especially among youth of the nation, so that they can come in and participate and excel in the world of science. ASTI tries to use science, technology and innovation for the advancement of mankind and innovation, as well as protect the environment. ASTI was set up by the founders of Science Fair for Young Children in the year 2012. Okay, that's a short introduction of ASTI. Let's get down to the key challenge that we want to talk about today, which is Young Technopreneurs Challenge, or YTC in short. What is this YTC, Young Technopreneurs Challenge? Young Technopreneurs Challenge is a business plan, entrepreneurial competition based on ideas and inventions, which has commercialization potentials. So YTC helps participants to develop entrepreneurial as well as technopreneurial skills. YTC will be conducted in two phases. Phase 1 is the registration phase, followed by briefing and business plan submission. Phase 2, those shortlisted business plan teams will be invited for a workshop or half-day workshop, online workshop, followed by an online pitching sessions where these teams will pitch their ideas as a business. And after that, there will be a panel of judges evaluating them and winners will be determined. What are the objectives of YTC? First is to create an awareness among students about business and entrepreneurship. Second, to improve presentation skills and introduce business pitching, to introduce concepts like financial planning, value proposition, and marketing planning to students. Further, to give students a real feel of the business world, as well as to help young people understand how to commercialize their ideas. Who are the target groups that we are looking at? There are two categories. So this competition is divided into two categories. The first category is for secondary school students, high school students, aged between 14 to 17 years old. The second category is young adults and tertiary institution students between 18 to 30 years old. So how do we determine the category that you will belong to? Okay, so the category will be determined by the oldest person in your team. The competition would initially target our ASTI alumni because we run many programs and projects, so we have a lot of alumni, particularly the YIC alumni network. However, non-alumnus, it is open. Each team is to be made of about 3 to 5 students, so it's a teamwork. Excuse me. Let's look at the timeline of how this challenge is going to take place. Foremost, we will do the registration in February and March. This will run until 31st of March. Then we'll do a briefing session in March and in April as well. In May, there will be a business plan submission deadline. Then this business plan will be reviewed and shortlisted by a panel of judges. This will happen in May. The shortlisted teams will be announced. This will happen in June 2023. After the shortlisting, half-day workshops for the shortlisted teams will be done, carried out, so that they can know what is needed for the final pitching. This will be done in June as well. On a finale, the teams will come forward, selected teams will come forward to do the business plan pitching. This will happen in June, and the panel of judges eventually will finalize the winners and announce them in July 2023. What are the prizes awaiting for this challenge? There are 2 categories. In each category, the champion will get 1,000 ringgit. First runner-up 700 ringgit. Second runners-up 500 ringgit. Fourth placing team will get 300 ringgit, and the fifth placing team will get 200 ringgit. Let's look at how to write a business plan. Okay, first let us state that this even though it's a competition, okay, it's a challenge, but foremost it is an educational project. Our main purpose is not only to create entrepreneurs, potential entrepreneurs, but also to introduce you to entrepreneurship, the steps. What are the scientific ways to look at becoming an entrepreneur? We hope by participating in this competition, you will be introduced to and able to garner some knowledge on business model, marketing and customer segmentation, revenue, cost and margin, intellectual property, details on how to write a business plan, as well as how to prepare and deliver a business pitch. Well, what is a business model? First, let's understand what is business. Business is the activity of making money by producing product or services, and then by selling them to our potential customers in the hope of making a profit. Now, the business model shall describe how you will create, deliver, and capture those value that you can sell to as a customer. So it's a model of how your idea gets translated into a profit. So in business, new product development, or NPD in short, covers the entire complete process of bringing a product into the market. Now, for this program, you will have to write a simple business plan report. So this is foremost. Your report should not be more than 5 pages long. So these are the following aspects that you must concentrate your report on. First, product description. Explain what is the problem your product or service is trying to solve. Describe your product and how it is solving the problem or making things better. Give a simple description of your product with diagrams or figures if needed. Second, business model. So your report should have that model. What is your plan to implement your idea into a product or service for the market? Are you going to sell this in a subscription model, upfront cash model, or over-the-counter sales model? For example, some key businesses use this razor and blade model, where they sell the main item at a low cost, and then the subsequent so-called consumer product like the blade for the razor at a profitable, for example, in this case, $1 price where it is frequently used and bought. Number 3, so a business report must have identified the customer segment or the market. So who will buy your product? This has to be clearly clarified. Number 4, revenue streams. How would you be able to make a profit? How do you generate the revenue? What are the method or ways that you're going to sell the product? So is it a one-time buy and sell, or is there some sort of a recurring buy and sell, like the one we mentioned earlier, like the razor and blade model? Number 5, cost structure. What is the cost of developing or producing or manufacturing a product or service? What's the fixed cost? What's the variable cost? What do you need to make that product and end product for the customer? Okay. Of course, you cannot make all the details of the costing. So for this program or for this challenge, you can make an educated estimation of the cost. This will be sufficient for the judges. Number 6, what is your selling price? Justify your price. Would people buy at that price or not? Okay. What are the other similar products pricing in the market? How are you comparing your price with them? Number 7, profit. What is your profit? What is your expected profit? What is your margin? Which is simply revenue minus the cost. Okay. So you should clearly show us what is your gross profit at least. Okay. Number 8, intellectual property. What is your plan to protect your IP? Because if it's your product or your service, it should be protected so that it continues to bring revenue for you. So IP is an important aspect, but you can explain this in a very short few sentences. Okay? But we want you to be aware of IP. Now, beside the business plan report, there is another requirement for this challenge, which is business model canvas. Okay. What is business model canvas? Okay. So business model canvas is a tool for you to see the big picture of your business. It's actually a template where the key areas are filled up. Okay. Now this was developed by Alexander Osterwalder. It's a visual representation of current and new business models, generally used by strategic managers. So sometimes they use them to compare similar products. Okay. So the canvas can provide us a holistic view of the business as a whole, and is especially useful in running a comparative analysis. So people can compare two products very easily. Okay. Now, a business model canvas gives people a common language through which they can evaluate traditional processes and bring innovation into their business models. So we shall show an example in the coming slides. So this is a business model canvas example. So it is graphical, it is a template, and there are some key segments in that template that you need to fill up, like cost structure, revenue stream, distribution channels, value proposition, and key resources. Some details about each segment of the business model canvas are given. Okay, let's not go through one by one in detail, but some of them are quite obvious. Okay, but you must have these things placed onto the canvas. Who are your key partners? What are your key activities? What is your value proposition of the product that you want to give to your customer? What is your customer relationship. What relationship that the customer expects you to establish? Does the customer expect you to service them, to maintain the product for them? So you must really look at this very, very carefully. What sort of after-sales support you want to provide? Is that in place? Next. The canvas should also have a segment on customer segment. Which class of customers are potential buyers? Key resources. What are the key resources that this product requires? Distribution channel. How do you distribute the product? How would it reach the end customer? Is it an online business? Is it a direct sales business? Is it a network type of business? Along with other items such as cost structure, revenue streams. After this, we will talk about an example, okay, of a business model. Okay. Now on this slide, a URL is given where you can look at a template for a business model canvas. But be sure that business model canvas is just a tool. Okay, so don't worry too much about, oh, how perfect you need the canvas to be. Okay, choose a template, fill up those information, and don't worry too much. Okay, so it's a tool to write up your business plan. Now, you as a team, we will require you to submit your business model canvas, but there's no marks for it. Okay. So where does the mark come? Actually from your business plan report. And subsequently want to be shortlisted from your pitching and justifications. This is an example, okay, of a business case, and they're also pitching the business case. Okay. So it's narrated slightly, maybe longer, okay, but you can do this. This is an example for you, but this you can do this in a bit more shorter form. Okay, I shall not read all the details, but I shall just give you an idea of what that case is. Okay, so this is about a product called Mac Dock. So it's a device to be installed in your cars, okay, or in cars of fleets like taxi, Grab. Okay, so what does this device do? This device diagnoses the problem in the car and puts that information onto the cloud, as well as pulls the strength of a cloud to say what would be the most likely problem your car is having. For example, if there's a blink of a service light, what would most likely you need to do? What is your next best move? So it's like a device that sort of assures you, like a mechanic sitting beside you, to tell you, okay, don't worry, please drive, or don't worry, please stop. Okay, this is what you should do. So that's what the product is all about. Now, how does it complement existing product? How does it complement a car and a mechanic? Those details are given in the following slides. Now, please take note that in this slide for this business model or business case, they've given all the key items that we have spoken about in the business model canvas. For example, where is the market segment? Where is the market focus? What is the market strategy? Who are they approaching as their key business people or customers? Where do the stream of revenue comes from? And how do they expect in the years to come to develop the business from launching to a product proliferation into the market. This is an example of a business model canvas that has been filled up for that sample. Okay, what is that sample? The product called MacDog. Okay, so if you look at this business model canvas, you get a big picture, meaning a big picture of who are the customers, what is the value proposition, that means what is that product really different, why is it the product looks important, what is the cost structure, what is the revenue stream, and etc. Good. Okay, I suppose you have heard quite a bit, okay, about our challenge, and I hope, really hope, that you are eager to participate. How do you participate? First, you are required to form a team. Okay, few of you to get together as a team, and then you need to submit your registration via a Google form. The link is given on the slide. After that, the team needs to prepare a business model canvas and a business plan report. There are two distinct items that are needed for the competition. Submit both of these to ASTI2510@gmail.com by 12th May 2023. Good. And let's hope you're shortlisted. Okay, I hope all the teams are shortlisted. Okay, we don't have a quota for shortlisting. Okay, as long as you're good, the proposal is good, we will shortlist. You are required to attend an online workshop where we will give you tips on pitching and prepare a business pitch that you will need to present to a panel of judges during the so-called finale or business plan pitching session. After the pitching session, there'll be a panel of judges asking you questions on your product as well as on your pitching, and eventually winners will be determined. For further information, kindly contact Ms. Vanita. She's our secretariat at the given number, or email us at asti2510@gmail.com. Finally, don't worry about making mistakes. Making mistakes is part of learning, and we encourage people to learn. Okay. While you are learning, make sure that learning comes with an experience and it's fun. Some information is given on links about business model canvas. On YouTube, links are given. So feel free to see them so that you get an idea what a business model is, what a pitching, sample pitching looks like. Some information is also given about definitions, because we have used some keyword in our requirement for the business report or business plan report. With that, I thank you all, and I hope this challenge shall spur young minds to become entrepreneurs and use this opportunity to learn about entrepreneurship and participate in order to write a very good business plan model. With that, I thank you. I shall see you soon. My name is Anandan, and regards to all.